Okay, welcome back to the workshop, Handyman. We're in the shop today. We've got somebody that's wanting a duck box built. I guess that's what we're calling this. So he's got this old one that he wants to take out of service. It's kind of rotting away, but he wants to kind of keep it just for the coolness of the box, but he wants to make a new one that will take its place, and we're going to modify it a couple times. So we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can get the basic plans down for you and show you what size this is. There's a couple things he doesn't like about this box. It opens up like this, so he wants to look in there to see anything. It's kind of tough to look in there. And also, this gets filled up, according to him, with bedding and stuff, and so we have to clean this out, and it's very difficult to get that cleaned out well. So he wants to be able to look in here a little bit easier. So we're wanting to get a door here probably and have that open, and then this bottom have a way to clean that out. So that's kind of the goal there. We're probably going to hinge the doors. On the front here, we'll go ahead and put the same hole size here because that's what size they like. Pretty much going to duplicate most of this. I think we want to try to make something on the bottom here to where we can just remove this bottom piece to clean it out when he needs to. And then the back will be slightly longer, so he has a place here. This will go up against the pole, and he'll have a couple places to screw here and up here. So we're going to do that. And I think what we're going to use for that is I've got this heart pine that should weather pretty well because it's a lot of fat lighter in it. And so that usually is something that we can use. So I've gone ahead and I've ripped these down. I've used this stuff for a couple other projects. We're going to go ahead and rip those down and make them into a thing. And I've got a couple of them done already, and they're all glued up over here on the table. So what we're going to need next is to let them dry, and then we're going to go ahead. As far as measurements go, these are mostly 9-inch wide boards put together. It's a pretty simple build, and he kind of wants it to stay the rustic look. So we shouldn't have any problem with that. I think it's about 24 inches tall. We'll get those exact dimensions when we get onto that part of it. So for today, we got it glued up. We'll let the boards, I got to glue this one up yet, and then we'll be good on that. We'll get the dimensions and see what we come up with. Some creative ways to build the doors and the boxes, I think. So that's what we're working on, and we'll be back in a flash and continue on with it. Okay, I'm back, and we got everything unclamped, and we're going to go ahead and run this thing through the planer real quick and get all the boards to size. Then we'll start cutting it up and seeing what kind of sizes we're going to need. So we'll go with that. Okay, we've got those all planed down. Now we're going to go ahead and let's see what kind of sizes we've got. We'll set this up a little bit. Let me spread these out. We're going to try to figure out which one's going to go where. Okay, we've got 4 pieces. This bigger one, we'll be able to make 2 out of it. Let me take some measurements, and we'll figure out some angles on these boards, and we'll let you know what those are. Okay, well, I'm measuring this up and trying to get some numbers. I just want to make sure this is on an angle here. I was going to show you a quick way if you have a little square like this to figure out the angle that you have to cut all these parts on. And it's very simple. You set your speed square on here. You move this up so that it's parallel here, flattens out against that wood. And then on your angle here, you can read that that's 15 degrees. I think you can probably see that. And that's what you'll have to cut all your angles here, 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 and on the front. So any place you're doing this is going to be all 15-degree angles across there. Of course, I'm giving you the dimensions from the top to the bottom anyways. That'll kind of make it a little easier on you. But if you're going to do it, 15 degrees. A little tip while we're working on this. And I'll keep drawing up the plans and get a snapshot of what most of this is. The only one we won't be able to do, of course, is this front door right here. Like I say, this is where we're going to do some modifications. So I'll have to, I think we can show you that. Like I say, this one now has this big door that's going in this way. We don't want that. When they clean it out, they have to get in to try to get to it. It's tough, so we're going to redo that. And then this bottom for cleaning out, I think we want to get that to pull out, so we're going to redo that. So that's kind of, we'll put a little bit better hardware on here and hinges. So that's kind of the project there. So we'll go ahead and continue. I'll draw this out and show you what the plans look like, and we'll start building it. Okay, we've got this going on now. I think we're doing pretty good. We've got the plans for it, so I can kind of give you a close up. I might try to put this in a file at some point, and I don't know, we'll see how good it all comes out. I'm not sure how well you can pick up on all those plans, and if I'm even getting them all. So anyways, we'll try to make a copy of that, set it in the thing. But the next thing we're going to do is we'll go ahead and start setting up the saw. We'll go ahead and get this ready to cut all these down to, looks like everything, the widest we need is a bunch of 9-inch boards. So we're going to cut them all into 9 inches on the old table saw here. We'll set that up and rip them down real quick. Okay, we're back again today, just like that. What we're going to do, I don't remember. I was about to go ahead and cut all these to length. On the table saw, we're going to go ahead and just do the rough cut length. And according to our plans, let's see, I'm going to start out with the, I think we're going to start out with the one side, which would be this one. So we'll go ahead and see if we can do that. And cut that up first, I reckon. So we'll do that. Now on this one, we've got to take it, see if we can get it over here. And what I'm going to do the angles on this is on the radial arm saw. Let's see if we can set you up to see what we do have. And what we've got with the radial arm saw, the nice thing about it is that it can turn around at whatever degree angle I want, and I can cut the full width of my board. So we're going to go ahead and set this up, and I have not done a 15 before, so we're going to have to cut us a new groove in the top of my plate. So we're cleared the blade, we'll go ahead and start it up and then lower the blade down a little bit. Okay, object of that is to get it just enough of a groove when you do that so that you don't have to cut through the backing too far. So now we can go ahead and take our measurements, and I believe the one we are shooting for would be, let's see, I think we're going to go with this one here. It's going to be 20.5 on one side, so that should be 20.5, and 23 on the other. Should be about accurate. So we're going to measure it out and make sure our angles are all right. And that right there is just about perfect. So we'll go ahead and cut that one. All right, we're starting out with one side. And that is probably going to be close enough. I don't think we're really that critical. Might have been 1 degree off, but I think we'll be good with that. So we'll go ahead and see if we can make the next piece up. See what we have on that one. We'll show you as we get it. Update on it is that we have gone ahead and got it all cut. And if we match all these up, this is our back board, which would be this one here. And that's going to be cut on a 15-degree angle, so that's going to fit there. And the next one we've got is our roof, and this is a 15-degree angle on this end and on this end, same direction. So that's going to sit up and take the place of that one. The front of the box is square cut on this end and 15-degree angle on this one, which will match up to that. Now we will have to mark out and cut our hole. We'll do that here in a minute. And of course, the first one we did was the side here. That's simply a 15-degree angle on that one. So that's pretty much what we're at now. We'll go ahead. The other side, I've got the top piece of it made over here. So that's the top of it. And then we'll go ahead. We're going to have to figure out how to make the couple doors on there. So that'll take a little bit more. But for right now, I think I want to go ahead and build the hole in the front of it. So we'll go ahead and figure out what that is and show you on how that's done. For laying this one out, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and measure and see how far down on this we're going to go. Let's see, it's about 3 inches to the top of that. So we want to go 3 inches, and then the hole was 3 inches. So we'll go half of that, which would be about 4.5 inches down to get our center line on this. And then we're going to go ahead and just run a square across that real quick. Right, and then that would be 3 inches plus the 1.5 inches. So then at that point, we want to go how far to the edge of this, and that's about 2.5 inches. We've got to go to the center of a hole, which would be a 3-inch hole. It's going to be another 1.5 inches. So we want to go about 4 inches in is where we want to run our hole saw through. That's what we're going to use is a 3-inch hole saw. So we can mark that one at 4 and this one at 4. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and just simply draw this out and use your jigsaw to do it. But I think I'm going to try the circular saw just because I've got a hole saw here that'll cut it right out, and then we'll just trim between the two pieces. So let me set up and do that. We'll drill these 2 holes, and that should get us a good start. Okay. And because I'm going to lose my mark on this a little bit, I'm going to pilot both of them first. Do the other half. Now, I don't want a lot of blowout on the back side of this board, so I've got my 2 holes started and got a good start on them. We'll flop the board over and drill them the remainder of the way out. Because as you can see on this, we get a little bit of punch through, it makes a mess. So we'll go ahead and see if we can drill it from this side. And we went almost all the way through with that one. We're going to have to finish this one off the other side anyways, because it did remove my hole. So we might just try to go ahead and jigsaw that one out. Being as we got most of the way through, it'll follow around there and we won't have any problems. So we'll grab up the little scroll saw here and see if we can't round that out a little better. And the only other thing we will need to do on this is create a straight line from point A to point B. Kind of square that up a little bit. It'll be pretty easy to follow our line since it's already mostly cut out. So. Okay. And that gives us a hole. Now we'll take this over and sand it out, and probably take a little half round over and just round over the hole so it's a nice smooth hole, and make that a little easier for them to get through. That's how you make a hole in it. So we'll go on to just a little bit of sanding. Okay. And we'll tell you this much about this one is this old fat lighter on this thing will gum up a piece of sandpaper in a pretty quick hurry, but I think we've got this good. So we'll take it over here and round off the edges. Okay, for this one, we're going to just do a quick little round over. I've got just a little round over with a bearing on it and a little portable. So we'll crank this up, run it around it. Let's go just a little bit deeper on that, I think. See if we can get just a little more off of it. That's more like I like it. And we'll flop it over and do the same thing on the other side. And that's pretty much all we need to do, and we've got a hole. So that'll be our front face in it, all rounded out, ready to go. Okay, the next thing we've got is pretty well mocked up. Make sure our edges are all smooth there. We've got the base on here, hangs down. This will be some screws going into that, and then everything will come together. Next thing we're going to work on is this top one gets a door that will have some hinges attached here and just flip up. And we decided we wanted to make that about 8.5 inches tall. So I'm just going to cut us a square piece to stick in there for right now, and that'll kind of give us an idea where we're going with it. So we'll cut that. Okay, next thing on the agenda is going to be, we've got this here. We're going to have to put a little 8-inch long or 9-inch long piece here that we'll do to stop this, because like I say, this is going to hinge open like this. And then we're going to have a drawer that pulls in and out here. So we want this next piece to have just enough to give us clearance between that. So we've got 8 inches left here. We're going to take it probably just a little bit under 8 inches. And we'll see if that's going to fit. And then we'll build the drawer inside of that. So right now, another 8-inch piece to put on here to start the drawer. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is, or have done, is I've just simply taken some little strips here, and I'm going to put these in here like this, the 3 pieces, and that's what the drawer is going to slide on actually. And I just made these a 1/2 inch thick, and then this is the thickness of the board, 3/4 of an inch, and we've got, this will be the door front. Now I'll build the board that'll go inside of here, and that'll be able to be pulled out on top of these glides. So we'll just measure that. These little ones here should be right at 7.5 inches long. All 3 of them should be pretty much the same size because it's the thicknesses of the wood. So 7.5, 1/2 inch, 3/4. We'll put those around there. We'll end up gluing and nailing those together. And for right now, we're going to go ahead and make this base, which should be 7.5 inches also, because that's going to fill up that entire slot. So 7.5 inches square, and we'll be able to put that in as our bottom drawer. Okay, now I think I said that wrong. I did say 7.5 by 7.5, but it's 7.5 by 9 to fit this. And then this will be the front of the drawer here. Oops, there, it's this away. And that'll attach to that when I get done. So now the only other thing I've got to do, when this pulls out, I want to put some sides on here that'll bring it up so it'll just pass underneath that center block that we're going to have in here. We'll probably move that up a little bit just to make sure we have as much as we can out of this. So that means we'll be sitting this here, and we'll have to make a measurement from there. We want to make sure that's kind of square. a little bit off of that. So if that's square, about like that, then that needs to be, if we set that there, about 6 inches. Look like it'll clear. So I think that's what we're going to make it, is 6 inches tall. 6 inches tall, and then we'll make that just a square all the way around for walls. So we'll take that out, set it there. That'll be there. And we'll make our 6-inch tall walls to fit it. Okay, so what we've got here now is I took as we saw, we had the bandsaw there. We took the regular boards, and I didn't want them to be that thick because I didn't want to take too much of this space up. So I cut these down to a 1/2 inch thick, and we've cut them all to sit here as a box. And I think what I want to do next is I'm going to go ahead and, just to make this a little bit stronger, I'm going to go ahead and rivet these things out to let this board sit down into there, so when I glue this up, it'll be a nice solid joint on the bottom of it. So I'll take this over to the router, and we're just gonna, like I say, we'll set that up to route it out so that that'll sit down in there a little bit tighter, and we'll be ready to glue and nail and whatever to put this thing together and make it a box, I think. Okay, so what we have is the drawer here. We've got it laid out. These will sit down into it, and that'll glue up to that, and that'll make us a drawer, I believe. So we'll just glue and nail that together, and that should be pretty much a good project right there, I think. So I think that's what we've got left to do, is just go ahead and let's start gluing it and nailing it together, and we should be in good shape. The box should hold a duck, I believe. So let's go with it. We got it all. The clamps are removed now, and we've got the drawer that's going to slide in. So we want to make sure that went in there. I did do a little bit of sanding on that to get it smoother. It's built a little bit tighter clearance, but I think that's going to work good. And then we just need to attach this to it. We'll glue and nail that, and we're going to put just a little grip for your fingers up underneath here, I believe, and then we'll be able to put your cross member in, and the top door and the hinges. We're getting really close. We'll see how this is going to all work out, I think. So we'll try to get that door glued and nailed on there next. Okay, I think we've about got this one put together. We put the little 1-inch board in between here just to give us something to shut it against. And our drawer now fits. We've got it so it slides in and out pretty nicely. And then the top door, we've added just a couple of little hinges on the front of it here, and a window lock, so it'll seal on up. And that's really all there is to that. Got the top glued back on. We'll let that dry. That's what it looks like from the old original that we copied off of to the new one. And I think it's going to turn out all right. Pretty simple little duck box. Like I say, the plans are basically, I guess we'll put it just like this, is about what I followed. So that should get you a duck box built if you wish to do it. So anyways, thanks for checking this one out. If you're into building boxes, this is a pretty simple little project. Nothing real fancy for tools. I appreciate you checking it out. Please don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe button, and any comments are always welcome. And it sure does help my channel out. So Catch you on the next project.